If you're running an AI agency, you know the feeling, that constant stress of trying to find clients. Well, today, we're going to tear down a complete blueprint from Peter Trott that's all about replacing that marketing guesswork with a system, a predictable way to actually grow your business. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. The key word is dabbling. That's what sinks so many agencies, right? You try a little this, a little that. This whole plan is designed to be the antidote to dabbling. It's built on a really simple idea. Without a system, you're not marketing. You're just hoping. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the core problem, the dilemma. Then, we'll dig into the 6-stage foundation of the solution. After that, we'll see how the lead generation engine fires up, how the sales system actually converts people. And you know what? We'll finish by looking at the actual real-world results. All right, first up, let's talk about the AI agency dilemma and why having a real system is so important. So if dabbling is the problem, what's the solution? Well, it's this, a powerful 6-stage foundation that is engineered for success. And here it is, the whole framework in one shot. You can see how it just flows, right? It starts with building a solid foundation, then moves to getting traffic, running all that traffic through a marketing program, mastering your sales, and then nurturing those leads. It even bolts on some personal techniques to really boost your results. This is the whole client acquisition lifecycle, from start to finish. Okay, stage 1 is the absolute bedrock. Seriously, before you even think about running ads or sending an email, you have to get these 4 pillars right. You need the mindset of an entrepreneur to handle the chaos. You need a personal brand that makes people trust you instantly. Your operations have to be ready to scale so you don't break when you get busy. And maybe most important of all, you need an offer that is so good, your perfect client feels like they have to say yes. If you get any one of these wrong, the whole system just, well, it falls apart. So, once that foundation is solid, it's time to fire up the lead generation engine. This thing is all about attracting your audience. But it's not just about getting traffic from one place, it's about creating a multi-pronged attack. And this is where the strategy gets really smart. It's a mix of quick wins and long-term plays. You've got paid ads on YouTube and Meta for that instant traffic. Then there's organic YouTube to build a real asset over time. But check out this, LinkedIn's slow burn idea. I love this. It's a patient game building relationships to land those huge, high-ticket clients. You see, it's about getting leads today while building a machine that gets you leads tomorrow. So you've got all this traffic coming in from different places. Now what do you do with it? You have to direct it somewhere. Stage 3 is what he calls the engine room. Think of it like the plumbing of your business. It takes all that raw interest and channels it into a system that turns a curious visitor into a qualified person ready for a sales call. And just to give you a sense of how serious this is, we're not talking about generic templates here. Just one single tool inside the stage, the Email Mastery Blueprint, has a standalone value of almost £5,500. That's a huge signal that every piece of this engine is a professional, high-value component. The leads are flowing, they're in the funnel. Now for the part that really matters, getting paid. The sales and nurture system is all about turning a conversation into a signed client. The plan's definition of sales looks so simple, right? Turning conversations into conversions. But by stripping away all the noise and jargon, it forces you to focus only on the outcome. And that simple focus is at the very heart of their entire sales process. The system gives you 2 different ways to do this. On one hand, you have one-to-one sales. This is for closing those big, high-ticket clients, and it uses a proven framework with scripts to handle any objections. On the other hand, you have one-to-many sales. This is all about pitching to a bigger audience, like in a webinar, where you structure everything to create urgency and get people to act. Now, this is crucial. The system works on the assumption that most people are not going to buy the first time they hear from you. That's why Stage 5 is all about getting the maximum value from everyone in your database. You've got second chance campaigns for people who were close but didn't buy, and even ways to reactivate leads that went cold months ago. The goal is simple. No lead is ever truly dead. Look, a system is just a bunch of nice ideas on paper until you see the numbers. So the big question is, did it actually work? Let's take a look at the results. This timeline tells a pretty clear story. The agency literally started from 0. By month 4, they started bringing on clients. By month 7, they had 8 clients locked in. But look at the projection. The system was building so much momentum that they were on track to hit 4 or more new clients every single month. That's real growth. And here's a little snapshot of their sales pipeline around that 7-month mark. So you've got the 8 clients they already had, but then there were 7 warm prospects already in the funnel. And this is the exciting part: 2 high-potential prospects, each worth over £10,000 in monthly recurring revenue. That's game-changing stuff. And we're not talking about small fry clients either. The average value for each client was almost £2,900. This is the proof, right here, that doing all that hard work on your offer back in stage 1 and using that high-ticket sales process, well, it pays off, big time. But this is the number that really matters if you want to build a real business that lasts. £418 in average monthly recurring revenue per client. That's the predictable cash flow that lets you stop being a frantic freelancer and start being a scalable agency owner. So if we boil this whole thing down to one core idea, it's this. This plan is designed to stop the dabbling, to stop the random acts of marketing, and replace it with a structured, repeatable system. The goal isn't just growth, it's predictable growth, the kind you can actually build a business on. And that kind of leaves us with one big question to think about. For any new business, especially in a crazy space like AI, is having a clear, almost rigid system like this one, is that just a nice way to grow, or is it actually the secret to survival? Something to chew on.